Guys, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of how to use the pen tool. Some of you were just kind of making straight lines, and it's really going to help you out if you can learn how to work with curves, Bezier handles. It'll make your life a little easier and a little more flexible when tracing stuff. So I'm going to use Illustrator for this. It's the same tool in Illustrator or Photoshop. So just kind of look for this pen tool, and then this anchor point option here. So a lot of you did this. You kind of making your details like point, 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 point. You can actually create a curve. So if you click on an area and then you drag, you create these little handles, and you can see how you can create some cool little shapes that way. You can also get rid of them. So if you don't like to have any more handles, you just click on it and then it would stop that curve. So now it's just a straight line. So it's a good practice just to kind of go through and switch from curve to straight. I'm going to show you a little trick, and this is kind of how I learned how to use curves effectively. I'm going to create a little ribbon. So on the first point, I want it straight. I don't want it to have any curves. So I'm going to click once, and I'm not going to do anything. Now, if I hold down Shift key, you'll see that I move around. Like if I move up here, it reverts to, it jumps to an angle, like perfect angles, right? 180 degrees, 90 degrees. So I'm going to kind of use that, help me out a little bit. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click and drag, and it's going to create two little handles. It's create a curve, right? It created these little handles, Bezier handles, that I can manipulate after. Keep in mind, these are not points. These are little handles. So I'm going to go over here. And on this one, I'm not going to click and drag because I don't want any handles on this side. I want it to be straight. So now I have this unclosed path, and I need to just escape out of this because I don't want to continue. I want to show you guys how to do something here. So I'm in the preview mode. So if I put a path on this, you're going to see that I have a black outline on it. If I were to be in the outline mode, I'm only going to see the path, no shapes, no colors, no outlines or anything like that. So we can continue to work in this if we want. So I'm going to take this piece. I'm going to actually copy this piece. I'm going to paste in front now, so you can't see it because it's pasted right on top. Even if I go to outline view, you can't see it. I'm going to take my arrow key. I'm just going to jump this down. Well, you can see that when I moved it, there's a little bit of fill hanging over the top. All right, so I'm not that crazy about this. I'm going to take my selection tool. I'm going to just stretch these out a little bit by using my arrow key because I don't want this curve to be that drastic. I want it to be a little bit more. Let's see if I can I'm just kind of manipulating this a little bit. That's fine. Okay. And then now that I've got these two shapes, or they're not completed shapes, but they're, two lines with fills, I'm going to connect them. So I'm going to just come over here, click on that point and connect them. So now I have all sides connected. Now I have a solid shape. If I were to fill this with a color, you will see that I'm going to do like a light blue. All right. I don't like the black on it, so I might kind of change the black a little bit to a little bit like a darker blue, something like this. Maybe it's a little purple, but that's okay. And now if I jump to preview, if I go to the preview, you'll see that you can't see color, right? But this is helpful sometimes when you just want to look at lines and not colors. So now that I have this shape, I'm going to just quickly make a couple tails for this thing, and I'm not going to be too detailed about these, but this kind of gives you an idea of how you can work with layers also. So I'm just going to make a simple tails for this little guy here. This is kind of like a banner, like if you're going to put have like a announcement or something like that, a store. That's kind of a weird looking one, but it's okay. We can always fix it later. We just click on a little point and just move it. See that? And then I'm going to use the arrange tool to pop these behind. So I'm going to right click and go arrange, send to the back, and send this to the back. Where am I? Arrange, send to the back. There you go. Cool little banner, right? Okay. I'm going to move this out of the way for now. And I wanted to show you really quick too, before I jump into something else. We try not to have closed paths. So a lot of you did this kind of thing, like you just kind of ended it. And I'm going to show you in preview mode. You just kind of left it like this. It's okay if you're drawing hair or certain things, but for the most part, the more paths you have, the more complicated this file is going to be, and the harder it is to print or to render into different applications. So generally, if you can, try to close your paths. The other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to like have your path and then kind of like go over it and intersect or something like that, or go here and have like really, really sharp things like that. And circles. It complicates things in the printing process, and it's just it's something you try to avoid doing with your paths. Okay, try to keep them as simple as possible. All right, how else can we use Bezier curves? I'm going to just show you quickly how to use in the trace, the Fall Guy poster, and I'm going to show you how it becomes very useful and minimizes your time when you're selecting objects. So I've got this bullhorn here. I'm going to make a point here, and I'm not going to make a curve yet because I don't need a curve. It's just like it's straight right there. And I'm going to click up here and I'm going to drag. So if I click up here and I'm going to drag, now you see my curve, and then I take my handle and I just kind of like fit it into that space. So there. So now I have a nice curve. Now I don't want this to continue. See that curve, how tight that is? I want to get rid of that. I want to create a new kind of curve. So I'm going to like just click on this. That gets rid of that handle. I'm going to click here and drag. So click here and drag. You see how I created a little bit of a curve around that top of the bullhorn. And then I click here. Now I can adjust this later, of course, if I want to make it a little tighter. And then I don't want to, I guess I could continue without clicking on it again. You're going to have to practice. Like, should I click on it and close it out, or can I continue with the path the way it is? I'm going to click here a little bit and kind of create I want maybe a little handle here, and then I'm going to come down here and kind of finish it off. So I'm not going to do the whole thing for you, but I wanted to show you how. I'm trying to hit escape here. There we go. I hit escape, and now when I'm in here, I can click on these and kind of adjust them the way I want to. So if I click here and just kind of pull this handle out a little bit here, pull this handle. Well, this one does not have a handle, but I think I can live without it. If you ever want to add handles, you just go back over here and you get your anchor point tool, and you can kind of click and drag, and you see how it created handles on both sides, right? Sometimes it's too complicated to have too many handles, but sometimes you need them, right? So this one here, I click here and I can adjust. Whoops, I converted that accidentally. See what happened? I clicked on it and converted it to a straight line. So I just want to grab this selection tool, and if I want to move this in a little bit, I can do that. See? It's also got snap on, which is something that's super annoying. So you guys might want to think about turning that off. So look for your, where's snap objects? You're going to want to find snap. You can do help and just use snap. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I'm going to crash. There it is. So like snap to grid, snap to pixel, you guys should turn that off if you're getting frustrated with how the pen tool is forcing you to click on certain areas. Okay, so that's it. I hope that helps you guys out, and I'll hopefully see you soon in another one. I'm going to try to shut this recording off right now.